Hey guys, Gary J. I'm going to be throwing this Gill Hibben's knife here. First time I've thrown this particular design. So I don't know exactly what distance to be away from my target. I'm going to be using this tree. And it's rained a little bit, so usually if you wet down your targets, wooden targets with water, knives will stick better anyway, so that's not a problem. So this is 12 inches long. Can only guess that probably about 9 feet from the target would be about the right distance from the target. So I'm just guessing that. Now, I have a tape measure here, which will give me my feet distance, because I have an ink pen and a piece of paper that I'm going to record my distance for future use. Okay. Now, if I stand at 9 feet back here and throw the knife, and the knife comes and it hits like this, I'm going to throw two or three or four more throws to make sure it's consistent. If it's hitting like that, then I need to do what? This is an underspin. I need to step backwards about maybe 6, 8 inches or a foot in order to get the blade to hit like this. This is the perfect throw right here. The perfect throw is at 3 o'clock. This is 3, and this is 2, and this is 1. That gives you an idea, like a clock method. At 3 o'clock is the perfect throw. That's where you want to be. Once you can throw the knife to hits like this, look down at the tape measure where your foot is. Don't step on the tape measure, but look at the distance you are, and that you're throwing consistently like this, and you know that that's exactly where you need to be. So what happens if the knife is hitting like this? This is overspin. Then if it's hitting like this and it's pointing toward like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, then what you're going to have to do is step back a step closer. You need to step closer in this case, because the knife is having too much time to turn. If you step closer, you'll catch it just right. You may have to step a foot closer or 6 inches closer, okay? So if knife's hitting like this, that's where you want to be at 3 o'clock. If it's hitting like this, step closer, because the knife is having more time to spin. And if the knife is hitting like this, step farther backwards. But it's only like 6 or 8 inches or a foot sometimes with these knives, so it didn't take much. So let's see how it does in throwing this Gill Hibben's knife. Okay, as we throw, we're not trying to hit a specific spot. I mean, we want to hit a tiny spot on the tree, but we're mainly focused about being consistent in our throws and getting them to stick at that 3 o'clock, like the way I'm holding it now. So that's what we're working on right now. Throw at the same speed, get your stance. My left foot's forward a little bit, my right foot's behind me a little bit, and throw at the same speed. These little holes right here are helpful when you hold it. I've got my thumb on the second one right here, and that just gives me an idea that I can grab it the same way every time. That you have to be consistent. So I'm standing at 9 feet. All we care about is just getting the stick at 9 o'clock, okay? Well, that's the joy of throwing knives. You always hit another knife. Now, let's see how the knives hit right here. This is the perfect throw. This is 3 o'clock. Remember, if it's pointing this way, that'd be like 2 o'clock, and that'd be 1 o'clock. 3 o'clock is where you want it level with the ground. That's the perfect throw. This one is a little underspin, but not enough. If it was up like that, that would be perfect. The one behind it, definitely underspin a little bit. If it was like that, that would be perfect. And this one is underspin. Now what causes that? Why do you get one knife sometimes like this, overspin, and one knife at 3 o'clock, perfect spin, and then one knife like this at underspin? It's the speed that you throw it at. If you're throwing it just a little bit faster, harder, you're going to have the overspin where it comes up like this. If you throw it a little bit slower, I'll use this one in front, and it hits like this, underspin, it's because you threw it just a little bit slower. So speed is critical too for, you know, precision. But as long as it's either at 3 o'clock or like this, that's fine. 9 feet is where I need to be. So I take a pencil, a pen, and a piece of paper. I write down 9 foot for one spin. Okay. And I write down how hard I'm throwing it. You can measure how much power you're using like they do in golf, from 10% to 100%. I'm throwing probably at 50% power. 50% power. So I have to make a mental note of that when I throw this knife for one spin. When I say one spin, you know, the blade actually, when you release it, it's releasing almost vertical. So it makes a spin all the way and a quarter spin to hit the target. So when you release it again out of your hand, it's usually going to be close to vertical when it comes out of your hand. And it'll rotate all the way around to where it came out of your hand, and then another, like a quarter spin to hit the tree. Okay? So that works there. So what do you do now? Try it one more time. Make sure 9 foot is right. Okay? Okay guys, we're going to be throwing a knife for the second time at 9 feet and see how that works. That's where we really need to be. Okay. Put my toe on a 9 foot mark and try to throw at the same speed. Now on that one we have 3 of them are pretty much at 3 o'clock. One's a little bit underspin, and one bounced out. That's still pretty consistent. So we'll try it again. Okay, this will be our third time throwing at the tree at 9 foot. We want to make sure it's the right distance. Now we've got 3 of those that stuck 3 o'clock. One of them is underspin. You know why that happened? Because when I threw the blade, I leaned forward just a little bit, and I was too close, just by 4 inches leaning forward just a little bit. So you got to do it every time the same way. Okay guys, we're going to be throwing the half spin throw. I'm going to use a pinch grip on this one. Okay, let's see how that works. Be throwing it vertical on the half spin by the blade. Okay, we're throwing by the blade for the half spin. Feet 8 inches. Oh, I missed that last one. I was trying to go to the farther to the right of the tree. We'll take a look at this. Okay, now they group pretty good. This is like a little bit of overthrow to it, just a little bit harder. This right here is pretty good, like 3 o'clock there. This is a little bit like an underthrow through it, not quite as hard. And this one right here is good. That's at 3 o'clock. And we look at that group right here. And 25th, that's not bad. And pretty much horizontal, partly anyway. So that's at 11 feet 8 inches. So I know at 11 feet 8 inches, if I throw it by the blade, same speed, then it's going to hit like that. And I have to look at it and see whether or not that's actually a spin and a half or one spin, because it's just kind of weird to me. Okay, so we marked that down, 11 feet 8 inches, throwing by the blade, 50% power. Okay, now you see some guys kill it. They throw it as hard, it looks like they throw it as hard as they can. That's bad on your elbow and it's bad on your shoulder. Get a rotator injury from that. So I throw it like 50%. And when you throw it out, don't hyperextend your elbow when you're throwing out. Stop right before your elbow gets to the very end where it snaps your elbow. And that'll save your elbow from tendonitis and stuff like that. So let's go for 2 spins. Okay guys, we're going to be throwing 2 spins now by the handle. Now those hit, if that's 3 o'clock, they hit like at between like 4 o'clock, which is not bad. And you saw with the first two I think were underspin, kind of like what you see right there, but they were too much underspin. And so what I did was I walked back about 6 inches in order to get them to stick. That first throw hit the tree and bounced off. That could have been me. Second throw hit the tree and bounced off. I'm pretty sure I was too close then. So you don't go by your first throw or second throw sometime, or even your third throw. But backing up just a little bit, they started to hit. So we'll measure that off and do it again. Okay, one more look at our blades here. 8.5 inch small Gill Hibben blades right here, and the 12 and 1/8 inch big Gill Hibben blades. Let's throw them 1 spin each. Throw 1 spin each, and 92 inches for the small ones, and 112 inches away for the big ones. Handle first. These hit pretty well, like 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. A little overspin, do that just a little bit faster, a little bit slower on that one. This one's 3 o'clock. And so you get an idea of the difference in the size of these blades right here. Again, this is 8.5 inch, and this is the 12 1/8 inch Gill Hibben, same style. And this one throws with a pinch grip by the handle 92 inches from the target. This one throws by the hammer grip at 112 inches. This 10 inches farther back for that one to stick. So you just step back one step. When you throw your little blades, then you throw your big blades. Just one step back, 10 inches back. So they're a lot of fun. They're really good throwing knives, and they will test you on your form. If you're throwing, these things are really so nice because you really want to get your technique down. If you're throwing just a little bit harder, it's going to spin up a little bit. If you're throwing a little bit weaker, it's going to come down a little bit. So that muscle memory is real important. So it helps you with that. It's one thing I noticed about Gill Hibben's blades, because they're so well made and balanced. And again, you've got your holes right here. When you grab your blade, you can put your thumb in the hole right here, and that way you grab it the same every time. You don't choke up on it one throw and back here one throw. You always got the same hole. And so these are really incredible blades right here. For the money, you can't beat it, I don't think. I threw this one a little bit low because I know my luck, it will hit one of these other blades right here. Now I can tell you, when you hear the blades hit, sometimes they'll get a little burr on them, and sometimes that burr may be about the size of one of the hairs on your head, and it'll stick up, and when you run your hand across it, it'll stick in you. So you have to be careful with that. And somebody asked, I heard the other day, somebody was talking about, well, what do you do to the blades to clean them and stuff? Well, stainless steel is not so bad because you can wash that and then put a light coat of oil over it, dry it off and everything. And I use Mother's Finest stainless steel polish over them to help preserve them, and also it polishes them out too, make them look nice. So stainless steel, I use a stainless steel cleaner like Mother's Finest or whatever that's called for stainless steel, polishing it and protecting it. Stainless steel does not mean it won't stain, and it does not mean it won't rust. It can. If you look at this one, see how that one looks kind of rough. I got this set of 3 off of eBay used at a good price, and I've got this set here, which is brand new set of the 12 inch and a brand new set of the 8.5 inch for like $53, including shipping and handling, like $53. So I got a real good deal on that on eBay, because normally you pay $50 for a set of 3 of the 12 inch ones, and about $35 for a set of the 8.5. So I got a good deal on that one. And I bought this other set used for like $20, but it was like $13 shipping. And they're in good shape. So they're a lot of fun to throw. I hope this helps you a little bit when you get ready to throw.